Hello and welcome to 5 Models and this build series of Revel's 125 Peterbilt 359. I remembered to do an intro for this video. So I'm just working on, where I'm up to is I've got the cab and the back plate and the mud guards made up and fitted to the chassis. I'm currently just working on some of the various hoses for the exhaust and the air intake system and the smokestacks themselves. I did try briefly to start to strip these, but it wasn't going to happen, so I've just pressed ahead with those, and I'll just get a coat of primer down over the chrome. Not ideal, but I've done it before, and it seems to work okay. It does make it a little bit prone to getting scratched, but it is what it is. It'll be better than persevering trying to strip them. Sanding them off would be an option, but you've got all of the indents, which would be very difficult to remove the chrome plating, and it would look more obvious that it's been half done than if I just didn't do it at all. So I've left that as it is. I've got these together and I've got the initial joints all smoothed off. It's sanded off with quite a rough sandpaper at the moment, so they need to be smoothed off up the grits before painting. And I've also got the air filters themselves that go on the side to do. Again, they're chrome plated, and I'm not sure what I'm going to do about those. I mean, the air intakes themselves aren't chrome plated, but the caps and everything are, so I'll possibly leave those chrome and just do something with the air intake bodies to possibly match the bodywork. So I'll come back when these have been painted up and we'll get on to what I'm going to do with the air intakes. Okay, so very quickly, I've got the stacks joined together. Now, like I said, I wasn't going to strip these. I was just going to tidy up the joint line. To do that, I was just using the flat edge of the blade like that and just gently scraping along. That's usually, for the most part, how I clean up my joint lines. If I've got the glue, if I've got it gone together right, usually that's all that's needed, and just a light sanding over it afterwards. Now, I said I wasn't going to strip these, but while I was doing that, I noticed that the plating on the top section of the smokestack was coming off really easily. It was incredibly thin, and if I'd have done what I said I was going to do and just painted over that would have scratched really easily. So I had to take that off. Again, same thing, just scraping it along with the edge of the knife, just gently, and it just comes off. And if you're gentle enough, you won't need to do much sanding afterwards, because the plastic will still be relatively smooth. You can just go over it with a highish grit sandpaper just to smooth it off, ready for painting. So I'll just quickly show you that with this one. Let me just pause for a second while I adjust my camera. Right, hopefully you can see a little bit better now. Just work out where I am, just to make sure that you're going to be able to see. So I'm over here. So I've got the joint line along there. This one's a little bit rougher than the other one, so it might take a little bit more work, but it's literally just scraping along like that. I've got a nub there where it was still attached to the tree, which needs to come off. So, and that's the joint line is pretty much quite gone. Now I'll just, again, same thing for taking the plastic, the chrome plating off. You can see it comes off really easily. you've got to be careful not to put too much pressure so that you don't create a flat spot. You want to maintain the shape, the curvature. That bit's being a little bit stubborn to come off. I'll come back to that. But you literally carry on going round. Just like that until it's all come off. It really doesn't take much at all. You know, sometimes you can do this for all of the chrome plating. Certainly use this method if you're not stripping the chrome plating off. Obviously you need to clean up the surfaces that the glue is going to go on, because it just won't, the glue just won't work otherwise. You see I've come round to the other side of the joint line there, and you can see how easy that comes off. And just carry on working round. I won't do too much more of this because I'm sure it must be quite boring to watch, and I'm running out of narrative. I'm just going to start repeating myself soon. You will notice as well, a lot of the time underneath the chrome plating there's usually some sort of a gloss coat. On these it's like a creamy colour, and the trick is to get that off as well. You can see in places it's still, I still need to go over that again because that gloss coating is still there, that slight yellowy colour. That needs to come off as well. But a lot of the time when you just go over that with a fine sandpaper just to smooth everything back off, it usually takes any of that that's left with it at the same time. I'm just going, obviously I'll do this bit separately off camera. For the bottom, I just cleaned up the joint line as I showed you just a moment ago. I didn't take all of the chrome plating off because, as I said, you've got the little indents which would be quite difficult to get off, and they would show up under paintwork. It's important to note that if you are stripping the chrome off, you do need to take it all off, because if you get patches where it's left on, although it might feel smooth and you can't feel it, once you start putting paint down, it's really going to show up. It'll show up as quite a visible step. Good example of that was on the back side of that plate, which I can't show you now because it's fitting in place. Obviously I didn't worry about the back side because it's completely hidden from view. This bit is really stubborn. I think that's actually dented in. I think that's just looking at that, yeah, I think the plastic's warped on that when they moulded it, because it's sort of like got a little bit of a dip, which I hadn't noticed before I'd started this. So I'm just applying, I'm just using the tip slightly and just applying a little bit more pressure just to get as much of it off as I can. There you go, it's coming off now. I'll try and reshape that with a bit of sanding later because that is a noticeable dip. So it's a shame really because like I said in a previous video, for the quality of the parts on this kit, although there was a lot of flash where the moulds just showing their age, once you deal with that, the parts are actually really, really good and they fit together really well. Until you get to this chrome plated sprues. I don't know if they were done with a separate process. Well, obviously they were done with a separate process, but whether they were done at, you know, by a third party or whatever, but they just don't match the quality or the plastic that the rest of the kit is comprised of. I believe this is an Italeri Reeboks as well, so it's possible that I don't know, because there's various ways that companies share molds. Sometimes the original company does all of the molding and just provides the plastic, and the other company, in this case Revel, just boxes that up. Other times they share the molds and Revel does its own molds. You know, it varies from product to product. It just seems like one company's done the plastic parts and another company's done the chrome plated trees. I don't know. I mean, I'm just guessing at this point. I'm really just waffling now because I'm finishing this, but you can see I've got the majority of that off now. I need to deal with that nub where it was attached to the tree. Just gently. So I will go over this afterwards with some fine grit sandpaper just to smooth everything off and check that there's no visible joint. There is on that side, like I said, there's a dip on this half, which is a bit annoying, but it's forward facing as well. Typical. So I'll do something about that. Once paint's on, it shouldn't really be noticeable, but yeah, so it's a 2-minute job to do, just to get the painting, the plating off. I'll do this bottom section, and then this I'll just tidy up the joint lines as I did on this part. So you can see I've just smoothed off the joint lines, a little bit left down the bottom there. And then I'll give that a coat of primer over. I probably will just, with a very fine grit, just go over this just to take the shininess off, to give a little bit of a key for the primer to adhere to. That should prevent any issues later on. Like I said, ideally, if you're painting chrome plated parts, you really should completely strip them, and normally I would. But yeah, as in previous videos, this chrome plating is just incredibly stubborn and it just doesn't want to come off with my normal method, and I haven't got anything else to try. Sometime when I do another kit, I will go over how I strip chrome plated parts. It'll be from another kit that I know works. Like I said, generally my method of using a foam oven cleaner, 90% of the time that works. Just happens to be on this kit it doesn't. So I'll get off and finish this off. I got the air filters, the plastic components of them built up. I need to tidy those up. So I'll get off and get all these painted up, and when I come back I'll have the exhaust and the air intake pipes fitted, and then we can go over the next steps. Okay, so I got a bit carried away with what I was doing before, and I've actually finished painting it all and got it all fitted. So I did want to show you the parts before I fitted them, but I just got swept along. So I'll try and show you this as best I can. Or let me just take these parts out because I need to do those. Just test fitting them. So I've got the air intake pipes for the turbo and the air filters themselves fitted. I've got the stacks fitted for the exhaust, and if I can tip this up without dropping it, got it connected up. I can't really do this. Connected up to the exhaust as best I could. It doesn't quite fit brilliantly. But that could just be user error. For the air intakes, I could not decide what colour to do them. And so what I ended up doing is for the body, I wanted a sort of like a brushed metal look. And I didn't have a clue how to do that using paint. So I cheated. I used some self-adhesive aluminium tape that I've got and just cut them to size in strips and just glued them around, stuck them around the body. They look pretty good. They don't look like they've been stuck on. So happy enough with the way that's come out. Very, very minor weathering on the smokestacks, but they're all fitted. And I've just got a few more bits to do. Got the 2 braces for the radiator. I need to get those fitted. They fit either side, so I need to get them painted and fitted. Then I believe it's the front of the hood, and the hood itself needs to get assembled and then fitted into place, and the other ancillary bits, the headlights and things like that. And it's literally, apart from I'm not sure what that's called, it's some sort of a air vent or something. Apart from that, it's just little bits that just need to be stuck on now. So what I think I'm going to do is I am going to get on with this, and I'm going to get all of the other bits done now because there really isn't very much to do. So I'm going to get everything finished off now, and then when I come back, that will be the tractor complete. And then I can just review and then look at making a start on the trailer in the next episode. So shall see you very shortly. Okay, so the tractor is finished for the most part. Anyway, there's a couple of small decals I've got to put on, but I will do those when I do the decals for the trailer. And there's a few bits of the chrome plating I just need to touch up with some chrome paint. Again, I'll do that as and when I get there. But aside from that, the truck is all done now. Everything's been fitted. Didn't have any real issues apart from this indicator on the side. The nub snapped as I was trying to fit it, so I had to super glue that on. But aside from that, it's all gone together well. The hood is openable, but it's a little bit stiff to get past these, so I'm not going to open it too much, but you can see it is openable. Same with the doors. Amazingly, they still open. Actually, I don't know if you can see that yet. Let me just turn it around. So yeah, so they're still openable. I'm just going to try and zoom you in a little bit. I should have done that before. That's a bit better. So there's a couple of other, like I said, there's a few little bits of touching up I need to finish. And there's a chain which needs to go on the back here, but I'll wait until I've done the trailer before I do that, because I'm assuming that chain is used for something with the trailer. And same with the Susie cables, they will get connected to the trailer once that gets fitted. So aside from that, it's all done. Oh, I don't know how I managed this, but I forgot this bracing piece which goes on the back. I only noticed it when I was just going through any parts that I had left. I don't know how I managed to miss that, so I got that painted up for the most part the same as the chassis and got that fitted. And so that's it. I'll take some photographs shortly, and I'll put some up on the screen just as I'm closing out this episode. I'm still got a little bit of weathering to do, but it's if I do it, it's going to be very light, sort of dusting along the lower edges. I didn't want to do too much weathering on the bodywork because it's not something I've really done before, and I didn't want to risk ruining what's a fairly decent result. So this is still removable. I'm still into two minds as whether to fix it down because it doesn't quite sit flush anymore. I don't know what's happened, but this is kind of like got a little bit twisted. But I'll just try and show underneath. So that's what it looks like. As I said, I'll put some pictures up. I should be doing that already, actually. So the next thing for me to do is to make a start on the trailer. And as I've said before, I'll be using Italeri's timber trailer for that. Chassis will probably be done in the same colours as the tractor. And I've bought from Amazon some scale wood that I plan to use for the logs for the load on the back. I don't know how that's going to work out because they're shorter than what I wanted. Although the box art does show that they've got 3 short lengths rather than 1 long length being carried. So I'll look at how to do that. That will be coming in the next episode. And if you follow Hobby Time Modelers on Facebook, they do a live stream on Fridays and Sundays. I forget the times now, but if you have a look on their Facebook, they'll be on there. It's just Hobby Time Modelers or HTM. You can find their channel on YouTube as well. I'll pop a link in the description. I've just started going on the live streams on there, so you'll be able to see what I'm up to on there, along with the others as well. It's a good it's a good watch with a lot of banter and a lot of laughs, and people are working on various things. So that's it for this episode. Thank you for watching. I hope you found it enjoyable. As always, I'm always happy to take advice, constructive. Anything I might have missed, or anything that you think there's a different way or a better way that I could do things, feel free to pop a comment. So yeah, thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.